Hey, I still can't see shit. That's alright, that's alright. For sure can't see nothing. Alright, that's whatever. So, what we was talking about before we got rudely interrupted. Oh, is this recording? Yeah. Before I just rudely interrupted my interruption of me rudely interrupting myself. But, so, I was talking about how in every one of these four cards, there's a focus point. So, here's the physical focus of three, and then there's one that's not. We was talking about that because we're looking at the two wands, okay? We're talking about how the two wands, whatever question you had in your mind, your answer is just to turn around. So in the case of this, you got all of these four pentacles. You need to stop worried about the things you can touch and focus on the things you can't touch. Instead of putting these stories into the position of honor, look at the story that you've been resting on. Again, stop focusing on these that you think are glorified and excellent, and look at the shit that you think suck. Oh, don't look at the things that you think you love. Look at the things that never stopped loving you. You're trying to figure out how to get to these cups, and this cup trying to figure out how to get to you. Again, your focus versus what you're not focused on. All of these four cards are expressing. All of these four cards are. I really wish I could see this. I'm going to turn around. I'm sorry. But all of these four cards, they're expressing duality. And it's doing it in a method of three, though. Again, it's crazy shit. It's doing it in a way to where you can see all the four. But the person in the card, they can't see the four. So they can only see three. That is you being in the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is time, folks. And if you don't know that by now, understand it right now. Everything operates on time, and it's time squared, which is why you can have four individual aspects of time. So hopefully that looks better for y'all. It looks worse for me, which means it should look better for y'all. Okay. So all right, let me cut this back up. So now we seeing again the three, and the three. But this card is trying to tell us that we need to not look at what we've been looking at or doing. Okay, we need to polarize it. We need to turn around. So again, if you focus on these three platters, these three stories, and these three emotions, there's a fourth way that you can do it. And again, that takes us back to this card with that example of this paradox of the four, or this quadrilateral. Okay, these quad or quattro, it's expressing that it's the four. But this four is being shown on what card? The two. So again, this is saying that I can take two things and I can divide them by two. Or guess what? That's called multiply by half. So I can take these two things and I can split it in half. And I can split this rod in half. And now we got these fractal rods. And guess what? Because they're now interchangeable, it doesn't matter which way you look. You're always still going to have a full rod. Here is a good example because it's here. This is what it looks like to have the three. This is 6 of wands, but really what it is a 3 and a 3. But it's not being presented as that. It's presented as 3 wands here and 2 over here with you with the 1. So let's understand this. If you have the 3 wands over here, that's like this over here being focused on. These things being focused on. Those triples that you're focusing on. We don't want to focus on the triples. Okay? Why? Because if you just double what has been tripled, you'll have an even number again. 3 is not an even number, even though it can produce an even number. This is the idea of having duality or squaring. These are the 2 wands over here. These are always going to be here. Why? Because they are created from the intermingling of the 2. But we cut these two things into halves or pairs. So now I can mix and match. I can have my white shoe with my white shoe. I can have my red shoe with my red shoe. But I can now say my left white with my right red, or I can say my right white with my left red. Those are 4 different combinations. 2 mixtures and 2 pures. Okay? 2 mixtures and 2 pures. 4 all together. So again, if you got all 4 of those together, you really have all white, you got all red, and then you got a combo or a combo. Again, I would do shit like this in the classroom. You'll be doing 9 months of this training. So again, these 2 in the middle don't matter because they're just a combination. They're just hybrids. It does not matter. So we don't count those 2 things as 2 things. We just say they're half of one thing. So now you got this finger, the bottom finger, and then the pair in the middle. Keep them together. So that's what this card is showing you. You got these 3 over here, the top, the bottom, the middle, right? And we're focusing on those things completely. The inside, the outside, the now. But there's a space outside of that. There's a space outside of that. There's a space outside of that. And this space outside of that is not looking at it as the middle. We're looking at it as, now we're seeing it as the red combination with the white combination, or the white combination with the red combination. My finger dexterity is on maximum. So these 2 fingers, right? These 2 different pairs now. I got the red white and I got the white red. Okay? These 2 shifting fingers. That is this shifting between these 2 things here. Is this the red white or is this the white red? Is this the red white or is this the white red? It don't matter, because at the end of the day, you're carrying a stick called hybrid, mixture, combo. So you're always going to have some kind of combination. This is always this mindset on the money. If you got a flexible mind, you're always going to be able to get one of these pentacles. If you're always chilling and open to receiving a new information that you've been sleeping on or didn't know or was dead to or ignorant of, then you can always interchange. If you have the option to receive or open yourself to a new cup, just put your hand out. Again, water is reception. This person is choosing to not receive, which is a secondary effect of a water sign. It's masculine. This is how a feminine sign shows the masculinity, by not receiving. So women who don't listen, those are women who are in their masculine because they're not receiving. You are a woman. You're built to do that. A man who is always sitting there trying to learn to receive from people instead of giving, you are doing the opposite energy. You need to give information. And then vice versa in the context. Again, because we're carrying the wand called mixture. We are all a mixture. We all live in this middle zone. Mom, dad, me in between as a combination of them both. Okay? So again, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to see how these 2 things here, can either switch and switch again. So now we're scissoring. This look crazy. Okay. But the idea is all of these 2 things can be doubled. But then this came out with what? It came out with the 8 of Wands. So our 8 of Swords. So that means this is not doubled anymore. We call it cubing. Okay? Double is a square. Cubed is a 3. So now instead of looking at this 3, that 3, and that 3, okay, we're going to take these 2 and look at these 2 in 3 different ways now. And that will give you 8. Again, it just doubles these up. Which means instead of having 3 swords or stories to talk about, now you got 6. Now you got, instead of 3 pentacles you holding on to, you got 6 that you holding on to. In which the 6 of pentacles, you're balanced trying to get shit away. The 6 of wands, you're cool and free and chilling. The 6 of cups, oh, I'm blissful and happy of everything in the past. Why, when you double these cards, again, you're doubling these things that you're looking at, and they all express themselves as beautiful things. But then when you look at the single card on the outside, when you add those 2 extra, it takes it to distraught states. Again, the 8 of pentacles. What does that mean? Well, the 8 of pentacles mean you're working hard and you're building stuff because you don't care. What is the 8 of swords? 8 of swords says you don't care again. You are focused on what's in your mind. I'm not moving. I don't want to go through any of those stories. What is the 8 of cups? The 8 of cups is you walking away from all the things before. I don't care again. So if you take a look, the energy of the water signs is being paired up with the masculine side of the air sign. And that's when you double it up into the 8s. They're both walking away. I don't want to move. I don't want to stay. But in the 8 of pentacles, I'm just going to work my butt off. And that is the energy of the feminine. I'm going to receive my insights and keep on working. But the 8 of wands, which again will pair well with this one because of the masculine feminine, that doesn't seem to work. Fire and earth, but it does. This is like wood. Things that are progressing. Slow burns. Charcoal. That's burning earth. So again, that is that energy because the 8 of wands is you moving. But what I'm saying is that you can't get to those things without cubing this. And this cubing, it takes these 2 options and it shows you them in 3 different ways. Again, if you got an option over here, then you got an option over here and an option over there. And it's 2, but it's really just 3. Why? Because again, these 2 things are a pair now. It's a pair of shoes. It's not the left white. It's not the right red. It's not the right white. And then it's not the left red. It's not the 4 different things individually, which they can be. Again, you got 4. Let me get the other one. You got 4 cards. Again, they're all doing their own thing. But when you have those 4 cards doing their own thing, what you're seeing is that, okay, I can balance these things. All of these things are being balanced. Look at this card. It is the only one out of all the 3 that is not being focused on. This is the only card that allows all of those things to stand alone. And the only reason why it can stand alone is because this 4 card is not moving as a 4, it's moving as an 8. Why? Because it is showing you these 2 or these pairs 3 different ways. So let me explain. Here is 2, a pair. Here's a pair, there's a pair. Oh, you also have a pair in the middle called these people. So look, those are 3 different pairs. But I also can say, oh, I got the pairs in the back with the pairs in the front. And then let's start getting crazier with the combinations. Maybe this one is paired up with this one. Maybe that one is paired up with this one. Maybe you can put these 2 with this one. Why? Because guess what? 1, 2, 3 will create a 1, 2, 3. Now you got the red half and then you got the white half. Mine's and theirs. This combination of higher understanding of these numbers within this tarot is what I'm bringing to you. This here is a minor arcana, so it has minuscule understanding across the universal complex, which means it has a huge, immense effect upon your day-to-day personal life. And that's what this is trying to show you. And because you are in the 3rd dimension, you have to see this as a 3-dimensional card. Because doesn't this card mean a table, stability, support? That's the number 4. That's how things come into existence. But it's based upon things of 3. So guess what? When we start to see this 3-fold aspect, we got to understand it's not a singularity. It's not 3 individuals. It's 3 pairs. Fractions are parts of people. So this is why this is the answer. You can now change the combination of who you are by polarizing it, and nothing will change because you're still who you are. In other words, you can be the white or you can be the red, but you still have stability all around you outside. You can be this side, and you can know you can be supported on the other sides because, again, you're always balanced. This is a number 2 or an even card, but it's built upon these even things. But in this card, it's being displayed as if I'm focused on this and not that. So if we take that same concept over here, and we're seeing how they're focused on 3. They're focused on 3. They're focused on 3. Those are odd numbers. Isn't this 1 an odd number too? This 1 is an odd number. So when you square this 1, you still get just 1. 1 squared is 1. But if you cube that, you still just get 1 again. So when you're focusing on this 1 and you're doing everything in an odd sense, you're just multiplying and you're just adding the same things over and over and over. You're just multiplying it. I got 1 over here, 1 over here, 1 over here. You don't even care to call it a 4. You're not even thinking like that. It's just 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. It's so arithmetic. It's elementary. But we're 5th graders, let's say now. We got to start seeing fractions. We got to see the world as the fractions. So now you might say, I got 3 to 1. 3 up here, 1 down here. 3 up here, 1 over here. Cool. But now let's go to the middle school. Now you got to relate these things a little bit differently. And that's where this comes in from. Instead of just saying I got 1 here and 1 here, then you can say I got 2. But then instead of just saying I got 2 here, then you can say I got 2 perspectives, 2 values, 2 differences, 2 changes. Then you can just say I have multiples. And then now you start understanding why you can find the most common multiple and the least common multiple, the most common denominator and the least common denominator. You start to see why these words are being applied, because these words are being applied in whole number sense because of you. But you got to speak and communicate in terms of fractals, which is why we call things improper fractions versus mixed fractions and proper fractions. But then you got benchmark fractions, and then you can turn all of those things into percentages or ratios. And that ratio percentage is the 8th grade to high school understanding. Now I can see all the different combinatory aspects of this one card, just like the star. I can be there. So now I don't need to carry or value any of these swords, cups, or pentacles outside of me. Why? Because there's always a duality within me. The 2 of cups, the lovers. I always have the small and the big. So I got to live with the in-between. And if you can live with the in-between as these 3, right, then you can have this combination versus this combination. And so you start to create more variety. And that is what is needed in your answer. You need to switch so you can see all the options that you have. Polarize what you thought was going on. Change it up, because when you look behind you and you still see your same skills, your same ability to influence, your same ability to impact, then you'll be confident in putting up any wand and using all options of your wand, all options of your fire, all options of your passions, not being afraid to do anything because it's all everything. I've done it before. This is nothing new. It just looks that way. This card is all about being able to manifest your emotional energy as a something. This man carries both a chalice and a cup. This is his serving rod. I'm going to serve you a little bit of emotion, some little bit of inspiration. Dang it. I'm going to serve you a little bit. Here's some, give you a little scoop. But I'm keeping mine over here because I need mine. And that's perpendicular, meaning I need to be able to keep myself into my own containment. But I'm going to share. And guess what? I'm going to share a little bit, but I'm still share. This is important because if you're not learning to share with the other parts of you, again, and you're only focused on the three that you deem as most important or something, that is a disservice to more parts of you. So the king has he has maturity and control over all things emotional. But all things emotional come with things that are intellectual or story-based or passionate-based or physically manifested, which is applicable. So these emotions start off as the baseline reasons as to why anything. Why are you looking in this direction? Why is your answer the same answer as it was before? And how come the answer is just to do the opposite? Why is that the answer? Well, it's because you're the emperor. That's fucking great. You are already in full control. You already know everything. You know how to do it. You are the bomb diggity. No diggity, no doubt. That means that you are it. But what is this energy? This is masculine energy. So this is fire energy. What is fire energy? Fire energy is giving. What is also a masculine energy? That is what? The secondary masculine energy is the air sign. Doesn't that give to you as well? Yes. So as we're giving, okay, we're giving out passions, we're giving out inspirations. But what else are you doing? Well, you're also in the feminine energy. And that feminine energy says what? I'm going to decline to receive certain things when I'm in my masculine energy. I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to take those emotions. I'm not going to feel them. I'm not going to experience them. I'm not going to allow those things to happen to me. And then what is the feminine side to the earth sign? Or excuse me, what is the masculine side to the earth sign? That means I'm not going to listen again. I'm not going to be bothered with that. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to pivot. I'm going to continue to be stubborn and work on this. I want to maintain my own focus. So because I want to maintain my focus, I want to make sure that I can maintain my masculine power, my stance. I know how to decline what I need to decline. I know how to keep working on what needs to be worked on. I know how to take action on new things that should be taken on. I know how to think and be flexible in new strategies. It's not receiving, it's applying. Energy of the male is application, whether that's applying boundaries for oneself or whether that's applying boundaries to your actions or applying boundaries to where you're going to explore or applying boundaries to what you're going to receive. But then you got to do that same thing 3 more times for every single one of those masculine energies within those modalities. This is really what people mean when they say, oh, the emperor is all the kings in one. No, it's not. The emperor is all the kings and queens into one energy called a masculine. And then this one masculine energy gets doubled, and this doubling or squaring of this one can also be seen as a cubing, which is your hierophant energy mixed up and seen as the high priestess energy. It is dual 4 different times. That's 16. Again, I'm sorry, but this is how computers are made. Computers are made this way. You were built this way. Cells divide in a 2, 4, 8, 16 manner. 2 gigabytes, 4 gigabytes, 8 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes, 32 gigabytes, 64 gigabytes, 128 gigabytes. You know this shit. You know this stuff. But I'm trying to show you it in a way to where you can see the energetic understandings and the underlying aspects of life embedded within the non-physical. Life is embedded within the non-physical, but is embedded in a way to where you have to have encryptions or embeddings, which is interactions. And so as people are interacting, these things are being created. As these things are being created due to people's interactions, you have to understand that not the whole person is interacting with all the whole people. They become fractals or just little gives, little bits. And so because I'm only giving little, again, I can only see so much. And you're looking at everything, but everything is being shown from this one point of view now. And this is where the concept of squaring comes from, because this whole person can just turn around and be its own mirror image. And if now I'm my own mirror image, guess what I am? I'm squared or two. So now instead of being the right hand up and down, now I got the mirror image called the left hand up and down. And so now do I still got middle? Yep. And so now I'm just literally doubling up the amount of space that I can manipulate in between. But now let's take a look. If I got this one and I got this one, I got 3 in between. How many do you have in between? That's 6. So now is it like this? Or is it like that? Or is it like this? Or is it like this? We can start to see how the inside can be manipulated so much, and to the point to where you got a up, then you got a down, and then you got a middle now. So this is the subdivision or the subconscious of you. This subconscious portion is what we're looking at, the conscious. And then that conscious has things outside of it. And those things outside of it now creates this movement here. And I'm sorry, but this is the Vesica Pisces. This is what it looks like. Okay? I know it looks weird like a mouth or something, like or suckers, but for me, this is something that I see as implosion with replosion. They call it entropy. Constant energetic flow. This is what I call exchange. I see it as a reverse drain. If I had a sink, things would drain into the sink. But as it drains down, it actually looks like it's draining up. It's a weird concept, but it's something that's been in my mind for a while. That's because things have to polarize or flip. Dimensional drifts. Okay. I just want to say this. I'm at this university right now because, again, I was going to go throw. And I've been on this campus a couple of times, just doing homework and whatnot. And these campus cops are so cool. They're so cool, man. They're just cool-ass people. I think the town is just cool, but these people are cool as fuck. And they're just being real chill. I just have to say that. So maybe you need to see something different. But let's get our final messages for this, because it's been like part 2 is also like long as fuck. So let's see. It's lots of knowledge. So now we got the 5. So we're going from the 4 to the 5 of Pentacles. What does this tell? Oh, with the 10 of Wands in the back. So this tells me already on the flip side. So now we're talking about exponentializing things. Exponentializing, I think I just made that word up, but it sounds good. Okay, but we're creating exponentials, right? We're seeing these things grow, not just by 2s, but again, we're just talking about the progression, squaring things, cubing things. That's doubling. This is called halving. So this seems bad. This combination, 5 of Pentacles with the 10. Well, let's look at the 5 of Wands. Let's look at the 5 of Wands. We're going from the 4 of Wands, which is stability. The 5 of Wands is normally what they call, oh, it's right fucking behind it. It's right fucking behind it. Fucking crazy. So, look, we go from the 4 to the 5, right? That's conflict. But then when we double this conflict, we get what? Is there any conflict here? People will say it was conflict to hold on all to these things. It's conflictual. Why do you need to carry all of this? Well, let's see it from, instead of seeing it like that, let's turn around. Let's turn the fuck around. Let's try to see. Our answer is to look at it from a different point of view. Look backwards. These are your responsibilities, which is why I like the Jack deck. Nightmare Before Christmas. It explains this as these are all your newfound responsibilities and cherished items. So to me, the 5 of Wands is you balancing your balance. What is that? That is the cubing and the squaring. This is the square, as you can see. It is a table. But when you cube it, you're looking at different aspects or interactions of that, which will always be conflicting. But that's the whole point. The whole point is to know that this is the middle. It is the combination. It is always going to be confliction. Again, white pairs of shoes, red pairs of shoes, mixture shoes in the middle. Again, white pairs of shoes, left white, right white. Red pair of shoes, red right, left right, or left right. Red right, left red. And then you got the combinations in between. Because we don't know which is which, we got to double this doubling. So we got to see this as a squared or twice. Okay? Again, and when you see this as squared, this here is what you see as this here. The conflict. Again, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people are fighting for stability. It's cool. It's 2 on 2. Everyone for herself. But then this one motherfucking thing, there's one motherfucking thing on the outside. There's one thing on the outside. There's one thing on the outside. It comes in, again, that ace of wands, that ace of swords, that ace of pentacles, that ace of cups. It comes in and then it just bonks all of that shit. Bonk, fuck mom. It gets a chance to take care of all of them. It is independent of all of this conflict. It's not paired up. It's not the red shoes or the white shoes. I'm a combination. Fuck all y'all. Fuck left and right. Pow! Versus over here, we're the right side. We don't like left-sided Twix. Or we're the left side. We don't like the right-sided Twix. Well, I don't give a fuck about neither one of y'all. I'm the mouth. I eat all of you. And then what does that lead us to? Well, we already seen it earlier. But the 5 of swords, it leads to, or the 5 of wands, it leads to what we already know as the 6 of wands. And we already seen that a lot. The 6 of wands is victory. But we said that the 6 of wands was victory simply because we know that we can do 2 different things. I got 1 stick and I can attack the left side and the right side. I got 1 stick and I can defend the red or I can defend the white. But guess what? I can still see and stabilize the conflict ahead of me because I am the stabilizer. But I can turn and make a change. This is why the 2 of wands is asking us to pivot. Do it different. Make a change. Make it happen. You always going to have that stability. So how does that relate to this? This is now a combination of 2. So guess what? That's the same thing here. If you had the 10 of pentacles, that's all the greatest things. But if you got the 10 of pentacles, don't you have responsibilities? And so if we take a look at this, instead of looking at the 3, now we're looking at the 4. So now we're always including these 4 things. We always leave a space for something open. We're focused on 3 things, but we're allowing ourselves to be open to a 4th thing. And this is what the 5 of Pentacles shows us. It shows us that I can be in any situation and I can still be good. You don't look good, but I am good. I feel good. Maybe I don't look good on the outside, but I feel good on the inside. I know I'm stable. I got things I'm not going to move from. I know I'm not going to stop focusing on these things, but I'm still open. And why can you do that? Because you got the 1 down here, you got the 2 down here, and you got all the combination in between. That's why. You can take it and you can do more things when you take a look at it from a different point of view. See it differently. Don't use your arithmetic brain. Use your algebraic brain. Put some variables in there. Well, I don't even know what this is, but I'm good. I got these 3 things to focus on, or those 3 things to focus on, or maybe this one, that one, and that one to focus on. Or I can Switch it up and say, I don't want to focus on this one anymore. And now you still got stability. You can change which one of these things that you want to not focus on. Not focus on. But then that keeps you focused and it keeps you open to exchange. Again, I'm not going to focus on this, but I'll exchange that one over here. But don't touch these three, bro. Don't even think about it. That is the energy of what this numeric understanding is. Again, in this numeric understanding of why you need to make a change in what you're doing, it is shown in the simple fact that you are still a combination of you. You're the highest level of yourself. So that means you can do anything right now. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're doing that. All right, I got to close this out because I feel like the computer is getting hot. And I don't want it to cut off on me again. I'm finding another spot, more trees. There's trees on the other side, but I'm going to go get some of this energy out. Okay, final message. All right, I feel like that shit snuck out. And again, it's of the past. So something of the past, again, the wheel of fortune of the past is here because it's been slow moving. And the slow moving thing has been you tempering the 2 cups. Notice, I love this card so much. Temperance card, 2 cups. Not the 2 cups, the lovers. Hierophant. They all have this angel with the red wings. Okay, I love that because it just shows me consistently. But I say this is the star because the star has 2 cups, right? The star is halfway on earth and halfway in the water, right? So that's a balance of the emotions. They're taking action, still thinking about the action, thinking about the action. That here is another balance. You got the grass growing over here. And then you got open pathways over here. It's jungles versus pathways already gone anew or gone. Pathways already traveled. Pathways anew. So, again, I really like this card because it's super balanced. And the reason why this is balanced and important is because this balance will be coming slowly. What that means is the stability within you is here. It's always going to be there. Nothing will change it. You have the mindset to keep going and always adapt and grow. And now you're reminiscing on the things that used to grow. And so guess what? You're looking at all 3 of these cups and how they used to grow. And now you're seeing them as not just what they used to grow. Here is the beauty of them. But you're still open to receiving this. And that is the 7 of cups. Well, you don't know what that 7th cup is. So sometimes it's something brand new. And you don't even know about how you feel about it, or you might have some old pre-programmed feelings about it. But either way, the idea is that now you understand that you can have that extra opportunity always. And I think this extra opportunity is the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune, which is the number 10, right? The Wheel of Fortune, which is the number 10 in this case, is an X with a cross multiplication. It shows you that you can take those cubed options. Again, 2 cubed is 8. And then you can take all of those 8 and turn it into a left side, right side, or an infinity in between. And that is this loop. And that is that loop. But the infinity is the loop here and the loop there and the loop in the middle. The loop in the center, call it the white shoes. The loop on the outside, you guessed it, call it the red shoes. And then the loop in the middle, obviously, has to be the combinations in between, which is why these things will shift and rotate around. But they're fixated on certain aspects. So that means you can't change what is going to go around and round, whether it's your thoughts, emotions, your actions, or your feelings. Those things are going to be round and round, interchanging and blending and mixing. If you're a parent, you really understand this. You got combinations of you and your spouse making babies, and they are not coming out the same, but you can call them all the same, and that's where this Ace of Swords come from. This is Thoth. That's the higher mind. So this Ace of Sword, or this outside cup, or this resting cup, or this outside the stability, or this open mind stability, it's always available. And there's always something turning this availability. The only thing that can be turned, look at the color, that will be the combination of you. But it's you in your current status of who you are, or your intellect, or your emotional mood. Again, the snake, people can interpret that cup differently. Just ask the Seven of Cups. So because we can change these things, we have to see what doesn't change relative to all of our changes. And so that means for you, you won't have to change relative to the changes that you're making. Only thing you need to do is make that choice to turn around. So pivot. I was looking for the Two of Wands. There it is. You got to pivot. Make that choice to make a change. This definitely ties right into the purpose reading. So you're looking for your purpose. Your purpose has already been found. It's about changing how you can view the purpose that has been found, and the things that you can nurture naturally that makes you feel closer to yourself or more like family. Those are the things that you can use to be that emotional emperor that you need to be, to make the changes that you need to see. So thank you for listening to this part 2. I appreciate you. Like, subscribe, and find your purpose. All right, people. Peace out. I gotta edit this anyway. I can't see. I can't see. All right. Peace.